Hello, my name is Shukuru Thierry. I'm a student at Southern New Hampshire University, and I'm going to be talking about the project called the Road Trip. So the overview of this project is first is introduction, the second is the definition of physical geography and human geography, third is the five themes of geography, fourth is the four diverse examples of work geographers do, and the fifth is how do maps allow people to identify exact location around the world, and then the last point is basic of GIS and GPS. Starting from the introduction. These audio notes tend to guide my boss called Ray, who need to attend the meeting which will take place in Seattle, Seattle, a town of Washington. Yet he is now in the town of Quincy in the same state, Washington. Then he will listen to this audio not to this audio note so that he can know how to go. And this audio note, of course, will guide him. So starting from the first question, the first point is about definition of physical geography and human geography, and of course we'll be talking about the geographical themes after. So what is first physical geography? So physical geography is the spatial study of natural features of the Earth's surface, such as rivers, mountains, landforms, weathers, climate, and other physical aspects of the Earth's surface. It aims to study different physical parts of Earth's surface. Those parts like lithosphere, which is surface layer, atmosphere, which is air, which is occupied by air, hydrosphere, which contain water, and biosphere, which is occupied by living organisms. So, physical geography is subdivided into the following branches. Geomorphology studies Earth's surface feature. Glaciology studies glaciers. Coastal geography studies the coastal regions. Climatology studies climate and its changes. Again, it is better to know about the natural landscape. Natural landscape, it is the term which is used to describe natural place on the planet. It is better to know that some natural forces led to the change of natural landscape and formed new physical features. Those forces are like erosion, weathers, tectonic plate action, and water. Those all about physical geography. Then human geography. Human geography is the branch of geography which studies how human activity affect or influence on the Earth's surface. This is why it studies distribution of human population, religious ethnicities, and urban dynamics and other differences among people on the planet. So it is better to know what cultural landscape is. So cultural landscape are those parts of the planet that have created or changed by human activities. Some of the cultural landscape are like buildings, streets, vehicles, fences, farmsteads, and so on. So the five theme of the geography, it is the point now I am going to be talking about. Geographers use different themes to well organize the space. To do this, they ask different questions like, where is it located? Here they are asking about location. What is it like there? They are looking for the place. What is the relationship between human and their environment? Just so the same. So how and why are places connected with one another? Here they are talking about movement. How and why is one area similar to another? Can include religions and so on. All of these themes has been presented in the resource called the fifth themes of geography. So location. We are going to be talking about those themes, but starting from the location. Position on Earth's surface, this is what means, of course, location. To get the location of any society distribution and place on the planet, geographers need to use both absolute and relative location, as shown in that resource, which is the five themes of geography. Absolute location it is used to answer the question, where is it? Of course, because it is asking for the place. Location. Absolute location is obtained referring to the latitude and longitude of that location. Example, the absolute location of the island located in Louisiana is 30 degrees north, 90 degrees west. To mean that longitude is 90 degrees west while 30 degrees north is latitude. So relative location is used to answer the same question. It is referred to another thing which can guide a person to the place he wants to know. Example, New Orleans is located at the place where the Mississippi River empties into the Gulf of Mexico, which gives it easy access to ocean and river shipping. Okay? Then I'm going to be talking about a place. So physical and human place refers to physical and human characteristics. This theme aims to answer the question, what is it like there? This theme focuses on showing the difference between one area and another by considering each region's characteristics. Those characteristics can be based on two main elements. First is physical and human. The physical characteristic of a certain place can be landform, can be climate, can be soil, natural vegetation, and animal life. On the other side, human characteristics can be the human ideas and activities which give a new perspective to a certain place. Those can be the density of population, language pattern, religious, and architecture. After knowing those characteristics, geographers think about the reason why those characteristics are there. These thinkings help them to respond to the question, why is it there? So human interaction with, of course, environment. This is like, it consists of shaping and landscape. The physical and human characteristics help the geographers to know the interaction between human beings and their environment. With this, the question, which is what is the relation between human and the environment, will be answered. To know the interaction between human and the environment, three concepts need to be considered. Those points are the following. The first is human depends on the environment. Of course, environment has many natural components which can facilitate the lives of human beings. Without the environment, people can't survive. Those components are like food, shelter, water, and clothing. And the second point is humans modify the environment. People modify the environment so that they can get satisfaction. They change some natural component of the environment to get some of their needs. Example, they build dams, dig mines, build houses, shopping centers on land. This is observed. Human adapted to the environment. People tried their best to adapt to the different nature of the environment around the world, though it seemed difficult. For instance, in the coolest place, people use heating unit to heat their homes so that they get the ordinary temperature. Of course, in the hottest place, like in the desert, people use air conditioning to cool temperature so that they can get ordinary temperature. So another theme is movement. Movement refers to human interaction on Earth. Movement is all about talking about how people interact on the Earth, though they are in different places. This point will answer the question, how and why are places connected with one another? This movement will be shown by the movement of people from one place to another place, movement of people's ideas, or movement of materials. Another theme is about regions, not, yeah, of course. The last theme will be about regions, how they form and changes. Refer to the form and changes. A region is defined as the area which has the same characteristics. This point will answer the question, how and why is one area similar to another? How do they differ? Some regions can be differentiated by either their physical or their human characteristics. So the second point which I'm going to be talking about is the four diverse examples of work geographers do. Weather and climate, geographers will need to know and apply geographic information about weather, climate, and atmospheric processes, as shown in the resource called What Geographers Do. So this is with this This is why they will learn more about temperature, precipitation, air quality, and so on. Those geographers can have some job title like a climate change analyst, weatherization installers and technician, atmospheric and space scientist. Again, they can have another, about cartography. This will require the geographers to design paper and digital map. Geographers who apply the cartography can have different job titles like cartographer and photogrammetrist, surveying and mapping technician, graphic editors, or digital cartographer as shown in the same resource, which is what geographers do. Again, in natural hazard, geographer knows and apply geographic information about natural hazard. Those can be hurricane, flood, earthquake, and fire. This geographer can have different job title like emergency management specialist, forest fire inspector, and environmental consultant. Again, in regional geography, a geographer can use and apply knowledge about the physical and human geography of specific region. With this, a geographer can get different job title like urban and regional planner, geointelligence specialist, or community developer, as shown in the resource called What Geographers Do. So another point is that how do maps allow people to identify exact location around the world? To have an exact location of the region on the map requires to consider two main elements, relative and absolute location. Relative location helps to locate a given region referring to a certain place, as shown in the resource called Geography Basics. This place can be a way of transportation or terrain. Relative location helps people to compare the advantage of a certain region with another. Again, on the other side, absolute location of a certain area is the exact position of that area without referring to any other place else. This is why geographers use a grid pattern called the graticule to measure the area. Graticule will need to have information about that region regarding the latitude and longitude. So, what is latitude? First of all, latitude is the location of a region referring to its position by comparing to the imaginary line called the equator, as in the resource called the Geography Basics. The equator divides the Earth into two parts, the northern and southern part. Each part is called the hemisphere to mean that there is northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. The equator is said to be 0° latitude. Beside the equator, there are northern and southern latitude. They are called the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, respectively. Both latitudes are 23.5 degrees from the equator. Beyond the two tropics, toward the pole, there are two latitudes. One is Arctic cycle and another is Antarctic cycle near the North and Southern Pole, respectively. It is crucial to know that the latitude lines are parallel to the equator. And then longitude is the location. Longitude is the location of a region referring to its position by comparing to the imaginary line called prime meridian, as shown in the resource called Geography Basics. Prime meridian divides the Earth into two hemispheres, eastern and western hemispheres. Prime meridian passes through the Royal Observatory of Greenwich in England, a suburb of London. The eastern hemisphere includes the continent of Europe. The eastern hemisphere includes the continent of Europe, Asia, and Australia. On the other side, the western hemisphere includes the North and South America. The lands from prime meridian are counted and numbered from 0 to 180 degrees toward the east and west. This is because altogether, when you take 100 degrees of going east and 180 degrees to go in the west and east, altogether can form 360 degrees of the whole earth. However, the 0th and 118th line are not numbered. This is why the 0th line is called the prime meridian, while the 118th line is called the international date line, as shown in the resource called Geography Basics. This line opposes the prime meridian because it indicates that the starting of each day. It indicates that a day starts officially at 12 a.m. Again, it is better to know that between the two lines there are 4 degrees which correspond to 1 hour. Based on the above explanation, to have the location of a given region on the map requires to have its absolute and relative location. Basics of GIS and GPS. GIS. When geographers are doing spatial analysis, they use GIS, which stands for Geographic Information Science. It helps the geographers to analyze the interaction and distribution of different species or landform by using computer database, as shown in the resource given by CFA platform or Amazon's. Those data are in digital form. Geographers enter the data in GIS, and then it converts the location indicators into point or other features on a map. Those location indicators can indicate the landform, distribution of plant or animals. So GIS uses a computer program which is able to show different features of a given region. To do this program assimilates and manages many layers of map data. Each layers show the specific information about that region. One layer might show the density of population, and another can show the road which are there. This is how GIS can help to know different features of a given region on the map. And then GPS. To know the exact location of a certain region requires also to use GPS, as shown in the resource called Global Positioning. Now, it's GPS, which stands for Global Positioning System. GPS receives information from the satellite and calculates the exact location of this region in terms of its latitude and longitude, as shown in the resource called Amazonas. They are both useful since they are used to locate any place on the earth or verify any point on the map. GPS is used in transportation since to show where a person intends to go. GPS can be found in different apparatus in the form of applications. Those apparatus can be cell phones, handheld computers, and other mobile equipment. Thank you very much. This is the end of the